7 First Alert Weather.
Our skies have seen several changes throughout the day today. We started out with some fog in valley spots, and then we saw the blue skies and those cumulus clouds as they built throughout the afternoon. And now we're seeing some high clouds that are moving in all across southern Idaho, and that signifies that some changes are on the way, looking pretty gray. And I didn't do this on purpose, but I'm actually directly coordinating with what's going on outside. Very gray views all across southern Idaho right now. And those temperatures are a little bit still on the cool side, though mild compared to what we have been seeing. So here are some of the highs that we hit today. 52 degrees over in Boise, a little bit cooler over in Magic Valley spots, and above freezing in some of those mountain locations. And yes, we have been trending cool, and especially compared to last year, we were a little bit warmer this spring. So 1 year ago on this day, we had a high of 65 degrees and a low of 39, which was pretty much on average. So that just shows you how much we're running below average so far this spring. Certainly cool this March and April as well. And here are the changes that we are expecting on our way. You can see that moisture moving in from the coast, and the high clouds there. You can see those moving in all across the state. So that moisture is going to continue to track inland, and that's what's going to be bringing us some rain showers in valley locations and snow for the mountains. And here's the upper air setup that is bringing this moisture, driving the moisture. So we've got this low pressure center still working its way east, and we've got a high pressure center, and between those two systems we've got the moisture that's funneling in. And so as we go into tomorrow, you're going to see more mild air start to work its way in, and so that's what's going to kick off a warming trend for us as we go through tomorrow and through the weekend. So here's what we're looking at with one model's prediction of that moisture. You can see starting more so in the overnight hours, getting a little bit more steam as we approach about 3 o'clock. And then at 5 o'clock, we're seeing more of those snow in the mountain locations and tapering down, starting to taper down for around 9 o'clock for some of those valley spots. And I do think that there's good model agreement that shows that this should taper off even more as we go into the afternoon. And so it should be mainly a morning and overnight event. And this is not a washout by any means. You can see we're talking about 1/10 of an inch. I think maybe a couple spots in the valley see about 1/3 of an inch of rain. And so for those mountains, that's not going to be falling as liquid water. It's going to be falling as snow. So here is some of those snow totals. We're going to see a little bit less potential for that snow towards Sun Valley and Haley. We start getting a little bit more towards Stanley, so maybe about 2 to 3 inches for Stanley. And I think McCall's going to have a hard time hitting 4 inches, so maybe 3, maybe 4 inches for McCall. So we'll stack up a couple fresh inches of snow. And in Magic Valley spots, we're going to get a little bit breezy once we get drier tomorrow afternoon. So we're starting off with the rain, maybe a couple spots seeing a rain-snow mix starting off in Magic Valley spots. Again, we're talking about snow for some of those mountain locations, and the higher snow totals expected to be towards McCall. Council seeing a little bit less, maybe about 1 inch for Council. And then for Treasure Valley spots, again, we're talking about those mild temperatures, slightly more warm compared to today, and some of those lighter rainy conditions. And we're not talking about too much rain. Again, it's not going to be a washout, but we are expected to dry out by the afternoon hours, hit a high of 53 degrees, and then that warming trend just keeps on going all the way throughout the weekend. So we are expecting to be a little bit warmer for Saturday and Sunday in the 60s. Finally getting above average for Sunday. So 68 degrees for Sunday, Brian.
Nice. And a lot of people looking at that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, upper 60s into the 70s once again.
Yeah.
I know we've already gotten up. 82 was our high so far this year, right?
Yes.
Which is pretty impressive.
Which set a record, and then we went back down and then back up. So it's really been a roller coaster.